Hi guys, and welcome back to Neil Pois. It is yet another Eurosong 2025 reaction video for Belgium, not Ireland, that's to come. And this is the sixth song we're listening to out of 8. This is Mentissa, and the song is Désolée. And now I know that Thomas is really excited by this one, so we will see exactly how excited he is by it. But first, remember, you can check out all the rest of our content here on YouTube or neilplaid.com, where you can also find our social media podcast, and you can leave us a voice note if you want to, with any opinions or questions you may have. But let's get into Mentissa and the song Désolée. Okay. That little bit of the start really made me think of do you remember La Rue? Was it Rue?
Yeah.
Made me think of that a little bit.
I like the guitar.
Her voice is stunning.
Yeah, she won the Voice Kids when she was about 14 or something. She was really young.
Oh, there's a trend here of papas.
Yep. Also, I love her outfit. Gorgeous.
Really suits her too. Speaking of papa, the shoulder pads are a little bit reminiscent of Juice.
Yeah.
Oh, I like this.
And also the French language fits the song so well.
He's having the time of his life.
Yep. It's catchy.
Yeah.
I kind of like that sort of drum.
Ooh, okay. I don't know what sound that is, but I like it.
Yeah, yeah. A little bit of a vocal exercise there. She's got a bit of an attitude.
Yeah, I feel like this is the attitude Grace was trying to have last week. Ooh. Okay.
Oh, it's very short. 2 minutes and 30 seconds.
Yes, it's not a long song at all. But I know you've got a lot to say, so let's hear it.
I just adore the song. You see, this is the one that I was most excited about, Mentissa, because I know her from when she did the Voice Kids. I'm not going to say she's been super popular here in Flanders. She's had a couple of hits. She's had a song called A Bum, which was quite a big hit. Then she had that other song, Mamma Mia, which was also sort of a hit. But in Flanders, she's not really that well known. People know her from the Voice Kids, but that's about it. But she has really launched herself a career in France, because she re-entered the grown-up version of The Voice in France and did really well there. And where she apparently met this guy called Vianney, who has been writing a lot of her songs, who also co-wrote this song, apparently.
Mm-hmm.
And apparently Vianney is a big name in France, and then that sort of launched her. But I've always kept following her. She's been on TV a couple of times here since then, and I just love her music. And I would love Belgium to send something in French again. So I was hoping for Eurovision, I hope she doesn't switch to English and just keeps it in French like she always does. Thankfully, she did. I hadn't heard the snippet, so I heard the song for the first time yesterday, and I was instantly hooked. I'm not saying this is a Eurovision winner by any means, but it's just one of those songs like, I'm
Hmm.
bopping along. Like from the start of the song, you just want to dance, you just want to move. Her vocal is insanely good, which I already knew, but she proves that here. It's not like there's any huge, big ass long notes, but she just does everything so effortlessly, and you can tell that she's got incredible vocal control. And the song, yeah, it's just catchy. Like even if you don't speak French, the word désolé and then some papa da papa, that's easy to to remember.
Yeah.
So
I
in
think
that
I could
sense,
even do that, you know?
exactly. So in that sense, I think this could do well at Eurovision. I'm not saying like again, I'm not saying it's a winner or anything, but I feel like it's catchy enough. It sort of reminds me a little bit genre-wise then to Angelina Mango's song for Italy last year, which also had that sort of like happy feeling.
Okay.
It's a different genre, but it gives me similar vibes.
Okay.
Um, and I feel like with a good act, there's a couple of moments that sort of like where there's like some these sort of like really prominent beats. Like I don't know where it is, where like they, how do you call that sort of like golden thing on a drum where you just, what do you
Symbol?
call it? Yeah, there's a couple of like cymbal sounds in that sort of like where you could do something visually or just like maybe work with camera angles there, make it snappy, make it fast. So I feel like there's ideas forming in my head for what you could do with this, which is also always a good idea or always a good sign. So compared to strobe lights, which we reacted to in the previous video, I think strobe lights is more suited for Eurovision, I suppose. I feel like it's more, maybe could we have more of an impressive act, could impress people more sonically as well. But I would still be very, very happy with this going to Eurovision. I feel like that would be a very solid entry and should do well, at least with juries, if she gets through the
Mhm.
semis.
Okay. So here's my thinking. This is a lovely package. Um, Fun, upbeat. I would like the tempo to be a little bit more, I guess, just a little bit. There's just something where I'm like, okay, but we could get more into this. Maybe even another bridge or something because I really like the bridge, or maybe make another. I don't know, because it's only 2.5 minutes long. I wish this is me saying I wish there was more. You know,
Yeah.
like that's not a bad thing at all. I do wish it was a little bit longer, but of course there could be a revamp if this does get selected for Eurovision, which changes that up. Um, I would say compared, so the ones we're seeing people talk about the most right now are Mentissa and Sebastian. I would say Mentissa is the more safe choice in terms of Eurovision because it is more potentially, I hate saying this because it's pop, but a bit more commercially viable in
Yeah.
terms of like,
More accessible, I suppose.
and for a large family audience, I can see really easily, your kids and preteens getting really, really enjoying this type of thing. There are bits that seem basic in the production, but there's some bits that seem really, really great. Like the bridge when there was just this little like sound effect, like it was like synthy
Mm.
and stuff, and I was just like, I don't know what that is, but I like it. Um, and I don't think it's necessarily bad for a song to be like, especially a song like this, to be a little bit more basic because it is accessible at the same time. But yeah, there's just like maybe an edge I'm not getting that this could have, if that makes sense. You know what I mean? Like it is very
Yeah.
sort of, it's very, it's very upbeat and happy, but I just wish there was a little bit of edge. I think that's what I'm
But
getting to.
you see what the thing is? Like she wrote two songs, this one and another one, and they had sort of expected VRT to go for the other one, and they went for this one instead.
Mm.
The other one was written specifically for Eurovision. This one was not. Was written to be song on her upcoming album to be released as a single. I feel like I get you in the sense that this is a song that is very radio friendly. You
Yeah.
put this on the radio. I am 100% convinced, especially here in Belgium, and I'm guessing probably in France as well. Since she's already an established name there, this would be a hit. This is something you would hear over the summer in every cafe or coffee shop that you go to. You would hear it on the radio, whatever. when we think of going to Eurovision, this is going to need a very strong act to make it pop. However, I sort of hate the fact that we're all guilty of that, even I am, we're all sort of half expecting every song to have that, either that big standout vocal moment or have like an explosive beat or, you know, just be something completely crazy and wild and something impressive. And I kind of hate that we do that, because I feel like not every song has to have that to do well at a contest. So this one could just stand out for its simplicity. It is very simple. It is very a basic arrangement. There's not a lot happening, but in that sense, it could maybe stand out. And I really hate the idea that we all sort of like want something more than what you're getting just because of the idea, well, it's going to Eurovision, so it has to be more like this, or it has to be. I don't think it needs to be more edgy. I don't think it needs something extra.
I don't mean edgy in term. I don't mean for it to be edgy, or to have something extra or to go anything like that. I don't want you to get the wrong idea. Well, there's just a sort of like almost perfectness to all of her voice within this, and like just a little bit of like rasp or something that just like felt maybe a little bit more live vocal, like just a bit more of an edge or something like maybe a bit more raw sounding rather than this perfect sound. It's not a bad thing to have a perfect sound, but it's just like.
But that's just her voice, though.
Yeah, that's fine. But I'm just maybe guessing there's just maybe like a bit of. There could be maybe in the bridge or something like that, just an extra, just maybe a change in the tone a little bit or something like that to maybe make it stand out a little bit more, give a little bit more of a maybe emotion to it or something along those lines. I don't mean an edge as in like a crazy bit of music or a crazy bit of instrument or a crazy bit of staging. I just mean in terms of this, like the raw edge. I can't think of the words to explain it. Other than raw edge, emotion, like I don't know. There's just something. It's almost just too perfect, if that makes sense. No, okay.
Not to me, because I just don't agree with it. We just have different opinions on it. I just don't think it is the kind of song that I would expect that from. And I think I genuinely do think that the reason why you're expecting that is because it is a Eurovision or a potential Eurovision entry. That we sort of, that's what I mean, that we all sort of like half expect a song to be a certain way because we're thinking along the lines of, well, it has to qualify, it has to appeal to judges, it has to appeal to televoters. I'm not saying that there's a specific thing that you can name that you want from it, but there is always that sort of like edge that we feel like a song needs to be deemed a possible contender or a possible qualifier, and that's the sort
I think it's a safe qualifier. I think it's good at attention. This is just a personal thing in terms of like for my enjoyment. It's not about it in the competition. Yeah. I'm just taking it at its face value, if that makes sense. I don't want you to get the wrong idea of what I'm saying.
No, I'm not. I just think we have different views on what the song could be or what it should be. I think it, in my opinion, the song, what it is and the way that it is and the way that it's written is perfect for what the song. It's doing what it's supposed to do.
Okay.
It's a typical radio-friendly pop song. And that's just what it is. And it does it perfectly. I don't agree that it needs something else.
Okay.
Do you know what I mean? Like you feel like you need something else for you to like it even more. Like for me, I don't think it does. I think it's super catchy, and it's been stuck in my head the entire day. So.
Yeah, I can see one of the reasons why it would be quite catchy as well. Yeah. Like. Here's the thing. What are we getting? Where is this pa trend coming from in Belgium, and then French songs as well? Both the songs are French.
I wonder if they if they heard each other's song for the first time and they were like, "Oh fuck, she's doing the same thing."
I need to fucking change this now. Give it some edge. Okay, those were our slightly different opinions on Mentissa and song Désolée. You can check out the rest of our reactions to Eurosong and some other songs from across the national final sphere, globe, I don't know, at neilpoir.com, where you can also send us a voice message, follow the podcast and us on social media. And we will see you next time. Bye-bye.